Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the show that is in the midst right now of getting on the list for a bid from Netflix and a press conference from Netflix. We'll never see that anytime soon. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. I am your moderator for this episode. My name is Derek, and we should be excited about all the stuff that's happening on Netflix with WWE heading there, NFL heading there. A lot to like, but you know what you should like? You should like this show. You know how to do that. It's right there. Just go ahead and click. And extra credit for the students who click subscribe right next to it. We would love to have you. As an additional note, we do want to have everybody here for the whole episode. Stick with us. Come on. You'll have fun. But in case you don't have time or need to skip to some other topics, we do timestamp the episode as well. You'll find that in the description. Just go ahead and click whatever you got time for. Having said that, I will introduce my co-host for this evening as always. First, our little elf in the workshop himself. Hello, Josh.
Why don't you call me champion, okay?
I'm not going to call you that at all.
I am the champ. You know it.
You want to know why you haven't heard from me?
Why?
I blocked you.
You blocked me? Why did you block me?
Well, you didn't like our commentary, so I thought to myself, well, let's just not say anything then.
Oh, God. What Bobby pulled the other night?
That was hysterical.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No comment. No comment.
No, it was genius. And you know it was genius, too.
Oh,
he said you laughed.
Him? Like, oh, it is genius. It's absolutely genius. But he was like, dude, I can't talk. We experienced a loss today. I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Bye. What am I supposed to do with that?
And yeah, he texted me the next day. He's like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to say something." And so when I call him, I'm like, "Man, we experienced a loss yesterday." He's like, "Really? What happened? Who died?" And I said, "No one, man. Yeah, I mean, I lost in fantasy. What'd you think? Someone died?"
I love it how Josh was almost ready to buy tickets to El Paso. I gotta go!
Dude, am I going to have to buy tickets for a funeral? Jesus, to go to El Paso?
No, everybody's fine. Everybody's
fine. But I'm good. Birthday tomorrow. Turning the big 4-4. Joining you guys. Yes, I'm saying it.
You haven't been missing much. Just to let
Jeez,
you know.
Josh, can you wait just a few seconds before you say it? Doesn't give a chance for anybody to wish him happy birthday. He's got to go, "It's my birthday today. It's my birthday."
God, you sound like my wife. You sound just like my wife.
Still some Christmas presents under the tree too, didn't you?
Set up for you.
God. That was very sweet. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. God. Ruined
All right.
It's done, Josh. All right, forget it.
That's it. Show's over.
Show's over. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks very much for joining us. It's been a very special evening with you all. Let's introduce our other co-host who was trying to be a kind gentleman, but now, remember that song that you hear a few times this year, this time of the year especially, called Silent Night? Well, he and I both have to appreciate being silent on this night because we're going to be talking about a topic here in a moment where neither of our football teams are even close to this playoff. The one and only Bob, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing tonight, sir?
You know what? I'm doing good. It's been a few days since I saw Craven, so I'm doing a lot better now. I've begun to purge it out of my system. Actually, I do have more fun when I hate the movie, and that was a terrible movie. Sony, let's put it this way: they lived up to their other films. They got it. So yeah, it was pretty rough.
No, on that one, you get to play the heel. Absolutely.
Yeah. But overall, doing well. Can't complain. Let's have some fun.
The heel. Wait, did you really block me? You've been blocking me?
You're not blocked anymore.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I asked Derek, I was like, how long do you think it's going to take before he realizes it?
It's like you're a vegan. Which, by the way, Bob agrees with me. I would have never known. We lived in different cities. How would I have known?
That was the point.
Exactly.
I'm like, he's never going to figure this out.
The fact that you made us go to a vegan restaurant, and I need to make sure there's vegan food at wherever we go.
I have you know, your wife said that was some of the best work she had ever heard. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll have to ask her about that.
She absolutely did. When I told her that, she goes, "That's outstanding." I remember it vividly.
I got to tell you guys, I just told Bob, Derek, my niece just had her 5th baby today.
Number 5?
Number 5 had a baby girl. Now has 3 boys and 2 girls. Crazy.
That's a big house.
Big house. So congratulations to them.
Full house. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. All right. Now that
congratulations
to her. Well done.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Let us jump into it, boys. Speaking of that Silent Night, here we go. Number 1, Bob. Okay, now if that didn't amp you up for what's about to happen this weekend, I don't know what will. Gentlemen, we've been talking about this for Lord knows how long now. We are finally here. It honestly felt like yesterday where we were discussing how this was going to even look and feel. Well, here we are. We know now. That's right, folks. It's time for the round 1 of the college football playoff. 12 teams involved. I was going to try to pull up the bracket here. Let me see if I can.
Here, I actually think that I've got it here. Hold on.
Oh, you got it there? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I got it here. Hold on.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, sir.
There we go.
Let's see.
All right.
Hey, Bobo, are we doing the entire thing or just this weekend?
No, just the first round.
Okay. Okay.
It's going to be hard to get. Yeah, no, go week by week with this. This is going to be intense.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we can give our thoughts, but I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, there you see it. It looks like we have our 4 number 1 seeds. Number 1, Oregon. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Boise State. And number 4, Arizona State. All right. Now that that's out of the way. We won't get into we'll talk about the games here in a minute, but I must say that yes, I'm absolutely tragically sad that U of A didn't come anywhere close to this.
No,
Bob, I'm also going to apologize for FSU as well, but
your team got closer than mine, so
well, not by much. But I am really excited because USC is anywhere near this, which is just wonderful. And I couldn't be more elated on that. Yeah, round of applause, definitely. What?
You get an F for the night.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Now I'm sad. So let's move on. All right. Well, here we go, folks. The first round you see here, we're going to get into all the games and, go game by game here to see what you guys are thinking to what we think. All right. What do you say we start off with the top right there? I believe this is our first game, the 7 and 10 seed game.
Yes, it's Notre Dame and Indiana is the first one.
Friday night.
Friday night. So Indiana heading to Notre Dame. Why don't we start with this one, gents? This is winner of this gets Georgia, so it doesn't get any easier for them. That's for sure.
No.
Josh, let's start with you, please. Your thoughts?
Well, being an SC fan, I can't stand Notre Dame. I can't stand the fact that Notre Dame's not in a conference and still gets the recognition because they're Notre Dame. So interesting game here. A lot of people probably are picking Notre Dame. I just saw today, Friday night game at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend since 1900.
Wow.
So they're going to be rocking. Okay. I like Indiana. I love their coach. You know, he brought in his players from James Madison this past year. They struggled against Ohio State. I get it. To me, this is their chance of retribution. To go into Notre Dame, a rival, and beat them would be huge. And that is something I want to see happen. I could see, hey, you know, you go for college basketball, Jericho, a 10 versus 7, you know,
Yeah,
10's time to win. So I don't know. I think Indiana is really going to be ready to play in this one. What's so funny, Bob? You're like laughing. What's
Why
going
don't
on?
we get to Bob's thoughts?
Apparently, Bob, what's going on?
Indiana. All right. Notre Dame is going to stomp them into the ground. This whole, I don't like that they're not in a conference. Well, that's why they can only get the as high as the 5th seed. And I think that that's fair. Because Tennessee didn't play in a conference championship game. Ohio State didn't play in a conference championship game. All these teams are there, so they're being treated like a team who didn't play for its conference. So they can't get one of those top 4 seeds. I think that that's fair. I like Riley Leonard. I love what he does on the ground. He also can beat you with his arm. I think, like you said, they are going to be rocking on that Friday night. I've got Notre Dame winning this thing, and I think they're going to win it big. Easily by 2 touchdowns. I've got them.
Yes.
They're going to stomp them into the ground.
Stomp them.
Yes, stomp them.
Excuse me.
I mean, they're going to play so good that Rudy's going to be able to come off the bench and actually get a play.
Oh,
he's going to run from the stand. It's right out onto that field. But you can't hate on Rudy. Anybody who hates on the movie Rudy doesn't have a soul. They really don't.
Right.
So I will say Notre Dame on this one. I don't know about a stomping, Bob, but I do think they're going to win. Maybe by about 10. That would be my guess. But do you think it's like going to be like 21, like a total?
No. I think when I say stomp them, I think they're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns. But I think their defense is going to dominate and going to keep Indiana's point total pretty low, to where even by a 2 touchdown lead is going to be a pretty dominant win for them. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, got it. Indiana has had a Cinderella season. I mean, a lot of people didn't see this team coming at all. So
yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Indiana. Of course, I was laughing early on because it's Indiana. You don't think of them, but reality, I like their quarterback, Rourke. I think he's pretty good. He transferred over, I believe, from Ohio, and he's done a fantastic job with Indiana this year. So I like them. I think that they've got some good talent. I just think going into Notre Dame and at night, and you got Riley Leonard on the other side. Riley Leonard is one heck of a player, good dual threat quarterback. I just like Notre Dame too much in this game.
By the way, Bob, Notre Dame did lose to Northern Illinois at Notre Dame Stadium. So, just saying.
They lose at night in the first round of the playoffs.
Nope, we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's right. Friday. So this is a whole nother scenario.
Okay.
Aren't you the one that also said Army was going to beat Notre Dame?
I thought they would. They were.
They stomped them into the ground. So
they did.
There we go.
Hey, I'll be the first one.
And I can't stand Notre Dame. You know that. But I'm not going to hate. But I'm not going to hate on them as far as what I think. I'm going to tell you what I think, and they've got this one.
Okay.
So you think Indiana? I'm going to go Notre Dame. I'm going to go with the upside. Okay, so Indiana by how much you think?
I'm going to say Indiana by 3. Yeah, by field goal.
Okay, it's going to be that close. All right. Yeah, I'm going to say Notre Dame by 10. Bob thinks it's going to be 14. Okay.
Yeah, at least 14 is what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about what happens if it does go down, because that next round's an entirely different discussion. But
yeah.
Let's move on. We'll save that for later. All right, let's talk about the next game. From what I can tell, it would appear to be SMU at Penn State. I think I got that right. That is on the bottom right there. Okay, Bob, take it away for the start of this analysis.
All right. I want Penn State to win. What's the last name of their quarterback? Is it Jennings?
I think so.
Yes.
He is one electric playmaker, and I've been impressed with what I've seen from him when I've been able to catch some of SMU's games. I just think when it comes down to it, I don't know if they're going to be able to go into Penn State and win. I think Penn State's going to take it. I think it'll be close, though.
Who do you want
And
to
the
win,
reason-
SMU or Penn State?
No, I want SMU, but I'm picking Penn
You
State.
said I want Penn State to win. That's what you said. Didn't he say that, Derek?
Boy, that dementia's kicking in pretty quick with you, man.
No, did he say that, Derek?
No, I said I want SMU to win.
I don't know. Okay.
That's why I started talking about Jennings.
Well, I know that, but okay. You'll have to go back and go ahead.
Do we need to rewind it back?
Can we rewind it back?
We can't now.
No, we can't.
We're gonna end up like it's Spaceballs. Look up. When did this happen in the movie?
Josh, if you're right, rub it in his face in the comments.
Yes,
okay?
yeah, you can rub it in my face if you're right. Okay, so let me make it clear what I'm saying.
Okay.
I want SMU to win.
Got it.
I've been impressed with them, but I don't think that they can go into Penn State and take this one. I like Penn State to win this thing. I think it's going to be close though, because I think SMU has the type of team that can compete with almost anybody in the country. But the way Penn State plays, I think it's going to be still low scoring, and I think they're just going to win in a slobber knocker.
Okay. What do we think? How close are we thinking here about? If you had to,
if I had to say Penn State, maybe by 3.5, 4.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's close. All right. Okay. Josh, your thoughts?
I agree with Bob. I really want SMU to win. Penn State, probably going to be a whiteout. People are going to be going crazy. Yeah. I think there's more pressure on James Franklin in this one for Penn State to win this because let's face it, I love the guy, but he does not win big games. And I really think that he needs to come in and win. Now, SMU, everyone thought against Clemson was going to be a blowout, and it started out like that. And they came all the way back and barely lost. That's how they got into the playoff. So I think they're going to be ready to play. I will be very happy if they win. My final score, I'm going to say Penn State probably 21 and SMU 17.
Okay. So you think about 4?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm going to have to go with Penn State on this one as well. I just don't see. I think Josh hit it on the head. Actually, I think Jeff Franklin is going to have something very dire to prove here, and I think James Franklin. Thank you. And that will go a long way. He will definitely be. It will definitely be a whiteout too. To that point, It's going to be very, very snowy. I still think. I mean, I didn't really buy Penn State as like this elite team, but I had to say, and even though they lost, they played a good game against Oregon. They did, and they showed me some chutzpah there. So that was good. It's probably going to be. If I had to put a score on this, I'm going to say 21-14 Penn State.
Okay.
I think that's probably. I don't think it's going to be like a big shootout. I don't think that's going to happen. There's too much defense there, I think. Okay. So Bob's got it by 4. Josh has it by 4. I got it by 7. All right.
Okay.
And if that, that's also, that's going to be interesting if Penn State advances. Hello, Boise State.
Jericho, I mentioned a whiteout, not snow. They do a thing once a year at Penn State where the whole stadium wears white, and it goes like crazy.
There will still be snow.
There might be.
Okay, my buddy Bob from Semester at Sea goes there. He and I have been talking. He's already said there is a forecast to have some snow there. So
interesting.
Not to mention the fact that he's pulling out whatever hair he has left because he says if Penn State doesn't win, he's going to crawl under his bed and never talked to his children for like a
Who
month.
said this?
My buddy, the guy
That's
I've been
funny.
talking to, one of my Mr. C friends. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. So that will take care of that game. Let's move on to Texas and Clemson at Texas. So Tigers and Longhorns. Josh, kick us off with this one.
Okay, you guys know I hate Texas. Can't stand them. I'm picking Clemson here, and not because of my hatred for Texas. I think they're a hot team right now, and they have experience in the playoffs. And you do not want to go against Dabo Swinney right now, who has been successful pretty much every time they've been in the playoffs. I think minus once or twice, and I think he's going to have his guys ready to play. I think they're going to go in. The weather is going to be nice. And I think if they can stick to a game plan, look, they started this season off losing to Duke, and everyone wrote them off. They're like, there's no way they're going to be good. And they basically battled back. They had some great games. They had that bad loss at the end of the season to South Carolina, but they came back and bounced back against SMU. And I think they're going to be ready. I think they're going to be more prepared than we think to face Texas. And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Clemson wins 31-24.
Ooh, 31-24, huh?
Yep. I think they're ready to go.
All right, Bob, your thoughts?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. No, hold on. I'm just doing this for Josh. All right, because Texas, I have a lot of love for Texas because they prevented what would have been the worst travesty in college football, and that would have been a USC three-peat. They prevented it, and I got to see Josh rip out his hair. It was wonderful to watch.
Oh, was that bad? Still haunts me to this day.
That being said, I'm actually taking Clemson too.
Wow.
This isn't because they have experience, because when did Clemson last make the playoffs? It's been
2 years, right?
Yeah, so this is almost an entirely different team. A lot of those that were in the playoffs or that might have been with Clemson early on, a lot of them have, didn't play then. So this is brand new to everybody.
No, but you got to have it.
That's the key right there. You got Dabo on the other side, and you have Sarkisian on the other with Texas. And I think he was still jaded from his time at USC. And I think that will affect him. And no, at the end of the day, I like Dabo Swinney. Despite the fact that Clemson has 3 losses, I think they want to prove that they belong. I like Cade Klubnik as a dual threat quarterback. When he's on, he's on fire. Don't get me wrong. Texas has so much talent on the other side. I like how their defense plays. Ewers is, I think he's really good. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take Clemson in the upset. I don't know. I just got this feeling on Clemson. I'm going to say Clemson wins with a field goal, not we'll say 27-24.
Interesting.
Okay. What's the spread on this game? Hold on, I want to take a look at that. Let me see.
Did you hear the rumor, guys, that Oregon is trying to persuade him to stay one more year and get him to enter the transfer portal and pay him $4 million?
Whoo! That's big money.
I hate this NIL.
So that could, no.
I hate it. They've
gotten bad.
It's not used for what it should have been used for.
No, it's getting
this
really.
Is the whole thing this is what we were talking about with this playoff. It doesn't address any of the real problems.
Yeah.
At all. So that's
players are leaving. Players are leaving and saying, "Oh, if I'm not playing this game, I'm going somewhere else."
Yeah, there you go.
Well, they have to, because of when the transfer portal opens and when it cuts off.
Yeah.
Remember, these players got to get enrolled in their new schools by the spring semester.
Penn State's backup quarterback just left. James Franklin is going crazy. He's like, my backup quarterback who knows the system in case is gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's
the
part
reality.
Of it now. I hate the way everything's set up now.
This is business now, folks. This is no longer forget it. Like, there's no incentive to really go to a school and stay in a school now.
Yeah, it's all free agency now.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
So,
which is
anyway, go ahead, Derek. What do you think about this game?
All right. So I was taking a look at the spread here, and they have Texas -12.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm definitely taking Clemson to cover that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
crazy.
a bad bet. That's some fun money there, Bob. Get a piece of that action. I am going to go with Texas only because they've had 2 losses, and it's to the same team. Every other team they've beaten, and I think they can beat Clemson too. I do think it's going to be extremely close. Like, this one's a 3 or 4 pointer. This could come down to like field goal status. But I am going to pick Texas to move on. That's going to be a fun game. I got to make sure if I'm not at home watching that, there better be some DVRing, and I better be left alone whenever I do get back home. I'm going to be left alone that whole day. Should just tell my family now. Don't.
Or no, it's on during the day. It's on at.
Yeah, that one's the mid game.
1 o'clock game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's good.
Some would say that this is going to be the hardest one to call. This last one here, this is Tennessee at Ohio State. Winner of this one gets Oregon. All right. Bob, help us out here. Who should we go? Who should we be going for?
You know, Ohio State's got the home field advantage, but as they've shown this year, they can be beaten on their home field. I kind of like Tennessee in this game. I hope they win because I want to be singing Rocky Top. I want to be singing it, and I like their offense, Tennessee's offense. I love their rushing attack, and I don't know if Ohio State can stop them. I mean, I know their defense has been pretty good, but they've shown that they're susceptible to getting beaten on big plays. So, I think Tennessee's going to go in there and get it done. I just got this feeling on them, and we're going to be singing Rocky Top. I've got Tennessee, and I think they're going to win convincingly. I got this feeling they're going to win by 10 points. I'm going to say 31-21.
Okay. Interesting. All right, Josh, to you.
Go, Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Oh, goodness, get the song right.
I got Tennessee.
He doesn't get songs.
I don't get any of them. I don't get any. Just ask Derek.
Never. At all.
No, not even close. Not even.
Maybe one Aerosmith song you got right. That's it.
Yeah, and that's pushing it. And maybe one Kiss song. We'll see. But no, I gotta agree with Bob. I think Tennessee goes in there. I don't think they're afraid to go into the horseshoe. I think Ohio State is going to struggle. I think that loss to Michigan was not good. I think that Ryan Day's job is in jeopardy, especially if, they're not going to be playing loose. I think they're going to be playing very stressed. Kirk Herbstreit said the other day, you don't want to, if you're Ohio State, you probably wanted to go on the road because going and playing at home, you're probably going to come out and get booed after losing to Michigan. And so I think, I've always liked Josh Heupel, and I love his offense. I love what he's done with them. And, you got the powerful SEC. And I don't know.
What was that again, Josh? Go ahead and say it again.
The powerful SEC.
Oh, okay. I just want
to. Why? What did you think I said?
No, I just want to make sure because you're always complaining about the SEC.
Oh, I am. I
just want to point that out. What'd you say?
I know it is true. They are like the whole thing's fixed. Believe me. But anyway,
they just be mad because they have all the talent. It's fine. Like we can just
no. Okay, fine. I'll take away. Let me explain something to you, Derico. Bobby and I have discussed this. look at Indiana this year. What did you say when we started, Derek? They were a improved, very good team, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Cinderella story. They had a great record. Were they ranked number 1 in the nation? Nope. But if Ohio State had the same record and was undefeated, would they be number 1 in the nation? Yep. Because it's name recognition.
That gets back to the same. That gets back to what I was just saying. This doesn't resolve any of the original problems.
No.
At all.
And so that's why you have.
But it does resolve in a sense, and it resolves one thing: you win your conference championship. If you're one of the top 4, you get a bye week.
Right.
I mean, you get one of the top 4 seeds. Look at Georgia. Look at Arizona State. These are teams that won their conference, and they got into those bye weeks. And so Indiana, had they beaten Ohio State, they would have played Oregon for the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
And they probably would have gotten a home game. They didn't take care of business. They lost to Ohio State.
Okay. Yes, on that level, true. I think what we're trying to get at, though, is the fact that how things are ranked during the standings throughout the season.
No. I get. Josh's thing is, why even do the rankings to begin with? And I get where he's coming from that, because yes, name recognition plays into it a lot. It always has.
Yeah.
This is
more
not
than before, though.
This is not the NFL. This is figure skating. It's always been figure skating. It's always going to be figure skating. People are going to get the benefit of the doubt just because of whatever conference they're in and because of their name recognition. That's just the reality of it. But at least the playoff, if you perform throughout the year, you can earn your spot in there. And even better, if you win the conference, you get one of those top spots regardless. So, I mean, yeah, it works out perfect.
You have a bottom line. Yes, true. You do get bottom line out of all this.
I mean, look at Oregon right now. Number 1 team in the nation, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have name recognition, but not, let's just say, as big as Alabama, Georgia, any of those. Look at what they have to do to get to the national championship. You're playing the winner of either Tennessee or Ohio State, and then you're playing the winner of Texas, on that side, if Texas, Clemson, or ASU. They have a tough road. They didn't put them in an easy road. Who's got the easiest road? Penn State.
You just talked about how close that game could be, though. How easy is that? Really?
Yes, it could be, but I'm just saying Oregon, as being the number 1 team in the nation, should not have such a tough way to get to the national title game. If this were college basketball, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but you keep in mind the brackets are drawn up a little bit differently than they are. Like, for example, in theory, Oregon should play, like, after Texas and Clemson play and Tennessee and Ohio State play. In theory, Oregon should be playing the lowest seeded team of all those teams.
Right.
In theory.
True.
But that's not the way they've drawn the bracket.
No.
And it's not Ohio State's and Tennessee's fault that they ended up where they were. They could have as easily been somewhere else. Yeah, I get what you're saying, that some of these teams are getting an easier road, but there were a couple of wrenches thrown into this. And those wrenches were that Boise State, as a Power 5 team, ended up as a higher ranked conference champion than Clemson. And because of that, they got the automatic bid. In theory, the top 4 teams should be the Power 4 conferences, in theory. But Boise State messed that up this year because they were higher ranked. So that changes the road. Also, the Big 12 champ is outside of the top 12. Their ranking was 16? Something 17. Like that. And so they end up with a first round bye. So there were a couple of wrenches thrown in. So that's why the playoff picture looks the way it does. In theory, it should have been your Power 4 all in those spots, and it would have been a tough road for anybody to get there.
Right.
But again, there were a couple of wrenches thrown in. The Big 12 wasn't as strong this year. Well, any year, but they weren't as strong. And then you had a Power 4 end up in those first round buys. So yeah, there was a couple wrenches thrown in. That's why it looks the way it does.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, all fair points. Yeah, I was taking a look at the spread on this one too. They have Ohio State by 7.5.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, they do.
I'm taking Tennessee.
Me too.
I would cover. I'd pick them to cover that spread too. And I will say this about Ohio State: a lot of people don't realize that the type of NIL money that they put to get that roster together.
Yeah.
So if they don't get through the first round, that's extremely disappointing for Ohio State.
There's gonna be some punishment dished out.
Yeah.
There's gonna be consequences.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? On that note, what do we say we make this interesting? I'll take Ohio State in this one. Yeah, I think there's a good possibility they can still gut this out. Okay. I know that loss to Michigan was not good. It wasn't. But if there is one team that does know about college football playoffs, it is this one. Now, you're right. Tennessee is looking very good offensively right now. But I still think there is a possibility that Ohio State can hold its own here and move on to the next round. And just to make things interesting, if you guys take Tennessee, I'll take Ohio State. We'll see how we do. Let's make it interesting and fun. All right. So we have now made all our picks. Bob and Josh with Tennessee. I'll take Ohio State. Bob and Josh with Clemson. I take Texas. Me and Bob with Notre Dame. Josh taking Indiana. And I think, did all three of us take Penn State?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. There we are. Well, we'll see what happens. To the 4-1 seeds, you enjoy your bye week, except for you, Arizona State. I don't care who wins Clemson and Texas, actually. I want you humiliated and embarrassed in the next round. And you should too, Josh.
I do. I agree.
Do you?
I do, Derek.
Okay.
I do. I don't think they're going to get anywhere. I think they did. Look, their coach got a great rebuild this year. What they win 1 or 2 games last year, and to go into the playoffs this year. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I've got my, I love seeing Boise State in there. I'll be honest with you. And there's so many.
That is a trip.
There's so many SEC sympathizers right now. Bobby's favorite person in the whole world, Feinbaum, is giving him no credit whatsoever. I'm like, has this guy claims to cover college football for over 30 years. You didn't see them upset Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl? I'd be like scared to death to play this team right now. And they have an amazing running back. Who, Bob, did you see the votes? He won the Heisman from the fans.
Of course he did, because he should have won the Heisman. Look, I understand why they gave it to Travis Hunter. I get that.
I do too.
The amount that he played and, playing both sides of the ball and being a dominant force on both sides of the ball. But the type of numbers that Genty was putting up, I mean, nobody's going to put up those types of numbers in a long time. And so, I thought they got it wrong.
So, but so we'll see what happens.
That's another discussion entirely.
Yes.
I was thinking one of these episodes, if we feel like getting a little bonusy, we should do like a live watch along of a game sometime.
That'd be fun. I'm all for that.
Yeah. I mean, we keep talking about football. Let's watch it together.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I invite you guys over, but it's a little bit of a trip.
Not as long for me, but long for Bob.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I just need to get a private jet.
Good luck with that. That'll happen when we get our Netflix deal.
Exactly.
Anyway. All right. Anything else with this, guys? Looking forward to the games?
No,
that's it.
All right. Sounds good. Bob, let's move on to our second topic for the evening, if we could. That's right, folks. Here we are, episode 4 of the Skeleton Crew. We have not given up on it yet. So, you know what? Hey, Star Wars, you're keeping us around. Let's give it a round of applause. You gotta start with that. Start with the positive.
There we go.
Yeah. Speaking of the positive, let's jump into the episode here. Josh, why don't we start with you? What'd you think? Number 4.
I did not like it.
No.
I finished it this afternoon.
Hold on, Josh. Hold on.
Always.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I just thought it was really boring. I'm sitting there and watching this, and I'm like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. I don't even know what it feels like. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, telling me they cannot come up with a better show than this? I mean, I really thought this episode was crap. I mean, it literally, now I really understand the term Bobby loves, dumpster fire. I just was like not into the show at all. This episode, I almost was like, I don't know if I can watch much more of this because it's like not going anywhere. Like I kept watching what you said, Bob. You said, well, maybe if they might go somewhere. I don't know what they're doing. There's no suspense in the show. Oh God. And then the whole segment with the elephant and the chick, and then like they're just talking, and it was like, more. And then did you notice she leaves and she does a somersault? She does a freaking somersault. I'm like, what are you doing? And then there's a merry-go-round in Star Wars. I mean,
well, it's the suburbs. I mean,
what else do you a He-Man lunchbox? Someone's going to carry a He-Man lunchbox, or
if they did that, that show wins.
Yes,
that show wins.
Yeah, probably. But
okay.
I want, with like what you said last week, Derek. You have so much info out there. You have all the expanded universe. You have all these books, and you come up with this that is just like, what's this remembered for? Loud noises? Like the gunshots are like really loud in this. I was like, oh God. And like last night I was like falling asleep watching it. I'm just like not.
In all fairness though, Josh, you fall asleep watching a lot of stuff. So let's be honest here.
It was just like, I have no idea. I wish it was better. I hope maybe it will get better. You know, Bob had said it was more of a filler episode, which I get.
Will you let my thoughts come out from me?
Okay, fine. Sorry. It
then,
was just
then you can yell at him about his thoughts, Josh, but let him at least get them out.
Fine. But I just did not think it was very good. I just sat there kind of bored. And God, just like, yeah. And then Jude Law comes out, and then the robot, and he's going to attack the elephant. And yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to tell him any more of Bob's thoughts, or is he allowed to talk now?
I'd like to. You know what? That's a great idea. I should talk for both of you clowns.
You should absolutely do nothing like that, and don't ever suggest it again. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, well,
here it comes.
So, this episode, I wasn't too crazy about either. I don't think I hated it like Josh did. I thought it was a filler episode in a lot of ways. And I thought there were a couple of interesting ideas that they presented. I like that they get to this planet and it's set up exactly like theirs. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to see them go to the other planets that were, because when they get to that, what was it? That sanctuary or sanctum that they call it or whatever.
Yeah.
So they get there and they see the coordinates for all the other planets. I think they're going to go check all those out, looking for clues to find their home. So I think this is going to be kind of one of those shows where they're going on these different quests for all the remaining episodes, just to find their way home. So I kind of liked the idea that there were other planets like them and whatnot, but I really don't know where this show's going. I think it's more entertaining than some of the previous Star Wars shows, but that's not saying much. And again, I'm trying to be fair because I'm not the target audience here. I think kids are probably going to enjoy this a lot more. I still think the two lead characters are annoying. I think I find the two side characters, what's her name? Is it KB or Is that her name?
The one with the glasses, right? Or the whatever that she's wearing.
Yeah. Her and Neil, I find them the more entertaining, even though Neil was just whining a lot this episode.
Is Neil
we
the
need
elephant?
peace. We gotta have peace. I'm like, this is Star Wars.
Oh my god! It just
so yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about it. And then that droid, they're still leaning heavily pirate thing with him. I can't remember. No, and I'm like,
not good. It was not good.
It's like,
oh, I remember now, but now I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. My favorite character in this whole thing is Jude Law's character. I like him. I find him kind of interesting, and obviously he's going to go on this arc where he's going to come to care about the kids and really want to get them home. I mean, that's pretty obvious. That's the direction they're going with this. Kind of like Josh said, there's not really a whole lot of mystery here. I think it's pretty predictable where this thing's going. But, I mean, we'll see. I'm not ready to give up on it yet because I don't hate it. I just am not like, woo, I can't wait to watch the next episode. If we weren't doing this to talk about it every episode or every week, I wouldn't watch it like the day of. I'd still watch it during the week, but I'm watching it the day of because, of course, we're going to talk about it the very next day. So that's the main reason why, I'll do it right away.
I'm getting Last Jedi vibes from it.
It's not Last Jedi.
Oh, come on. Them releasing the animals? They've released them.
But that's not the same here. There's no way this is as bad as The Last Jedi.
All bad.
So
Josh is just thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, it's not a great episode. I liked episode 3 a lot better.
Yes.
And I was actually more interested in the show after episode 3, and then this one happened, and I kind of went back to my same interest level after the first 2. But again, I like Jude Law's character, so I'm curious to see where that'll go.
Okay. Fair analysis. All right. So I said last week that it would be a good idea to sit down and watch this with my oldest, and I actually did it. And we had we did have a good time. It was fun. He's not familiar with Star Wars, so the good news about this show is that you don't have to know all this stuff in order to know Star Wars. So it's actually a good one to get a leg up on because it's a little bit of a one-off and it's its own thing. So
yeah, you can jump right into it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's good. On the kid level, it's especially good. So that helped. He's a big fan of Neil. Well, I think he still is. It's kind of hard to know actually after this one, but
did you start from the beginning again?
Yeah.
You did. Oh my god.
So we have
no, Josh. He skipped the first 3 episodes and jumped right into episode 4.
I got him right in episode 4. Let's have fun.
God bless you.
So, all right, let me just throw this out there because I think because I'm watching it with my son, but this one was definitely more all over the place than the first other 3 were. And the reason I know that is because my son kept asking questions like all the way through it. He's like, wait, what is he? What? Wait, they came back and now their world's all messed up? Yes, it's the idea of time travel. And so he's talked through that. And by the way, from a story perspective, that's actually a pretty creative one. Where if you do travel through time, you go to the future, you impact something and you go back to where your original time is, and things have gone horrifically wrong, that is a great sci-fi story. See Back to the Future 2. Right? Yes. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Created this alternate 1985.
McFly. Think McFly.
McFly.
McFly! His boss. All right.
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think McFly, think.
Absolutely necessary.
Yeah, that's going to become part of our permanent staple of.
It has to be now. Yeah, it's good. Having said that, this one really was all over the place. I will keep watching it with him because it is fun. I mean, Josh, I think to your perspective about Star Wars,
Yeah.
it would be very hard to try to pull him into everything right now. So
Right.
I think we're going to let him finish the MCU, and then we'll see about the remaining 5 films he has to see. I'm not going to show him 7, 8, or 9. I'm not going to go that route, unless he really, really wants to. But let's let him finish the MCU first. Then we'll let him do the remaining 5 Star Wars films. But I do want to see how much of this left that he does truly enjoy. Because by the end of it, I don't want him. I'd hate for him to be like, Star Wars isn't all that good just because of this show. I do think that there's some great stuff that he could still get into. So I just hope this doesn't ruin it for him. Like where it's just like, that's Star Wars stuff is stupid. You don't want to hear that. Even though it may be right now, it doesn't mean it always has been. You got to go back to the good times too. So
I would love to be surprised. I would love to be surprised with this. I don't think we're going to get there, mainly because of what Bob said. This is for the kids.
It is.
I don't think you really have storytelling,
They're playing it safe because it's for the kids.
Right.
And like Lily said, they've dumbed it down for the kids, and so they're playing it very safe. It's going to be very predictable where this is going to go.
Right.
And I mean, we'll see. I mean, so far, like I said, I don't hate it, but I'm not crazy about it.
Are you guys going to give it another? I mean, are we going to keep going with it? Let me put
as of right now, yeah.
Okay. I guess so.
If by next week it starts or keeps being not great,
then we can go off to something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make a call then.
And it's funny, my Disney Plus cut off when I had stopped it midway last night, and then today when I got on, it started to the beginning. And so I had to go back and kind of find where I was. Pay your bill. You know what? I'm sick of you, Bob. Okay, the show sucks. I'm done. This is ridiculous. Oh my god!
You're like, well, my Disney Plus cut off, and I'm like, well, pay your bill.
No. It just went to the very beginning again.
No, I know what you meant.
I don't know why.
Giving you a hard time.
I don't know why. No, you gave me a hard time. No. Show unreal.
Oh, stop whining.
Stop whining. You stop whining. You stop whining.
Don't worry, Josh. You're gonna get your moment to shine. So.
Oh, I
no,
can't
it's
wait.
not. Even when he gets to, I'm gonna crap all over it.
Let's get to it.
All right. Well, anything else to talk about this? It sounds like we'll make our call next week if we keep going or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's. I don't want to quit on it just yet because the first 2 episodes were okay. No. The third one was a lot more interesting, and then this one was kind of a step back. So, let's see what the next one looks like.
Did our friends over at Criticless give an opinion on this as of yet?
You know what? Let me see if they got a score up yet. Hold on.
Okay.
Still can't believe he didn't like Airplane.
He said it was decent. he didn't say it was awful.
He said that about Airplane.
Okay, so they got just enough votes now to have an official score. So let me just share my screen here real quick.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's see.
So over on Criticless, they've got it with 10 votes right now. They got it at 58%. So looking down, you've got somebody here scored it rad. Somebody scored it decent. Another rad here at 75%. Wow. Someone scored it at 100%. I think that one's a little too high. 63%. Blaine had it at 80%. But remember, he had said that after episode 3, he was going to bump up his score.
Big fan.
But is Blaine working?
But then you've also got a couple of people who scored at zeros, and that's, I think, bringing the score down. And I don't think this is a 0.
How well do you know Blaine? Does he work for Kathleen Kennedy?
Yeah, didn't he sound like he was such a big fan last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell how much he loved The Acolyte. Remember?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Said that he'd rather drag his nuts on concrete.
Yeah. And he said that with conviction too. Like it was deep.
He was very. I can't wait for Andor. I'm just psyched for Andor.
When does Andor come out?
April, right?
Yeah.
April. Okay.
I think it's April.
I have to go back and watch Andor the previous one. I got to go back and take a look at that.
It's worth seeing.
yeah, I've heard nothing but good things from you both on that, so I do want to check that out. That's some of the.
There are some boring episodes, but it's building up towards obviously.
There's a lot of character building and or in a lot of story development and stuff like that. So it's slower moving, but when it's all said and done, I thought it was a good watch.
I can roll with that. Cool. All right, we got anything else?
I think that's it.
No, we're good.
All right, Bob, let the tub of goo have his fun. Go ahead.
All right. All right.
Champ, baby. The champ.
Boy, he's starting already.
Well, it's not going to be a good time to make sure that you tell Josh that he cannot dance at all to stop humiliating himself in the future. Go ahead and do that in the comments.
Hold on here.
Lowest score out of anyone.
Hey, Josh, are you going to let me talk?
No, shut up, Bob.
Good Lord. Jeez, you love to jump the gun and give out all the information beforehand.
Okay, go ahead.
Relax, man. Good.
You better get that Iago candy, Bob.
So last week, Derek put it on Josh.
You bunch of losers!
Every week gets better and better.
Every week.
But I have to say that this week, what happened to Derek and I, oh, good God.
Oops.
Gosh, I have got to give it to you tonight. Derek, I'm not giving it to you on this one. My goodness, Derek.
Oh my God, Derek. Oh my.
Okay, so first off, your score. You set the record for the lowest score that we have had this season. And you lost by the biggest margin of anybody this season. And so let's just go over your lineup here. Kyler Murray, stunk. Derrick Henry, stunk. Kareem Hunt, stunk. Vele, stunk.
Wait, he stunk?
Yeah. Chase did pretty good with 18.4 points. I mean, he didn't hurt you. Lazard stunk. McBride, he did just fine at 17.7. Juju Smith-Schuster, he only had one catch, but it was for a touchdown. So given his price at 3,700, he didn't kill you. The Ravens defense gave you 6 points. Your total score was 72.46, a new record low. Final verdict.
Look
I was
at him.
wondering what I was going to get today.
I mean, question, Derek. Didn't you use Lazard before, and he was okay for you, right? Or no?
Yeah. I mean, that was then. This is now.
Yeah. So, all right. Now we're going to get into second place. I also got whipped, but not quite as bad. So I also went with Kyler Murray. He stunk. But I did go with James Conner. He got me 33.8. Chase Brown, he gave me 26.3. So my two running backs did really well. Actually, all three of my running backs did really well. Sutton was a letdown. He had 12.2 points. Marvin Harrison was a real letdown for me. He got me 5.2. I was partnering him up with Murray. Kind of what I was hoping was that Murray would have multiple touchdowns, one maybe to Connor and a couple to Harrison. So I was hoping for that. Didn't happen. I really got unlucky with Waddle, who got hurt. I went with Akins at tight end with Njoku out. He did fine for me with 6 points at 2,700, so he was fine. Jahmyr Gibbs did really well, 28.4 points. I did sacrifice my defense. The Browns, I knew I wasn't going to get much with them. I was expecting maybe 1 or 2 points. I didn't even get that. The final score was 121.96. Final verdict?
There's something wrong with this yogurt.
It's mayonnaise.
Oh, right. There we are then.
Oh, my God.
That's a good one.
There's something wrong with this yogurt.
It's mayonnaise.
Oh, right. There we are then.
What movie is that?
Notting Hill.
Notting Hill.
Oh, okay.
That's actually not a bad one.
That's a good movie. I like Notting Hill.
I think it's been years since I've seen it.
So, our champ for the week, and not just by a little bit, but by a lot, as he got set a new high score, was Josh. You went with Jared Goff. He went off. 5 passing touchdowns, 494 yards, 13 rushing yards. You got the 300-yard bonus, 44.06 points. You had Gibbs, who you partnered up with him, and Laporta. So you got the proper pieces that you partnered up with him. He got you 28.4. Kareem Hunt was a little bit of a letdown. Thank God, or he would have had even more points. Nico Collins, 17.7. Zay Flowers, it was a decent day, 11.3. DeAndre Hopkins, 8.6. Again, I already mentioned Laporta. He got 21.1. A Hooper, with his cost at 3,200, he didn't kill you at 6.8 points. Where you got a lot of help also was from the defense with the Broncos, 22 points. Your final score was 165.86. Wow. Final verdict.
Ernest goes to jail.
Is that what that was?
Yes.
Yeah, Ernest goes to jail.
Bob, do you like how I got that right away?
I'm glad you got that reference right away. So, leaderboard, Josh and Derek are both tied at 6 apiece, and I'm still in the rear at 4. For some reason, I can't seem to get out of second place. So, we still got 3 weeks left of the regular season, and we've got at least 2 to 3 weeks of playoff games. So it's still anybody's game to go from here.
Do we do the championship games, the AFC and NFC, or no?
Yeah, we would do that. That'd be the last week that we would do, but we'd only be picking from 2 games, and that's where it gets real difficult, kind of like Thanksgiving.
God, that's gonna suck. That Thanksgiving round was not fun.
I liked it. I thought it was great.
Shut up, Josh.
That's because you won it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I win everything.
You win nothing.
You come in last place a lot too, Josh.
Yeah,
so don't.
We just broke the record. No one remembers last place. Everybody.
Josh, keep it up, and you're blocked again. Knock it off.
Be careful, Josh. The last time you did this, you ended up embarrassing yourself in front of dames and dorks.
Oh, I know.
Might want to watch it there.
Shut up, both of you.
But seriously, though, Josh, it was a good lineup for you, so good job.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's get on. Right.
And I think, we're at the last topic of the evening. Wow, we've been flying by here. Okay. Bob, if you would. Well, folks, speaking of a show that we're not going to be giving up on anytime soon, boy, if you haven't seen this one for the viewers out there, you're gonna want to give this a view. Hopefully, the viewers out there who have Max, get on this immediately. And for the ones that don't, feel free to buy that streaming service just for this, if you ask me.
Keep the kiddies out of the room, though, and let's go ahead and go ahead and give a spoiler warning here, real quick.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Good call. That was necessary. Boy, I knew there was a reason I liked G.I. Robot, but boy,
Here's to the Tin Man.
I was not expecting that. All right, well, let's get into it. Bob, why don't you start us off with your review, and then we'll have Josh next.
This was a cool episode. I thought it was fun. So the big focus of the episode was on G.I. Robot, and of course the story picks up where the bride and what's the name of the fish lady?
Is it Nina?
Nina, thank you. So where they've been beaten, and so they're going to rescue them, and they get there, And I love it because you see the bride, she's like, and she's got the tape on her mouth. And Rick Flag's like, oh, it's a trap. We got to be careful. And so he goes over and he takes the tape off her mouth. And he's like, where are they? And she's like, they left. Well, then why were you screaming? Because I wanted you to take the tape off my mouth. So it picks up there. But in the middle of the story, as they're going back to the castle to protect the princess, because the castle is now under attack, they're getting all these flashbacks to G.I. Robot's story. And so that's the real focus of the story. And I really enjoyed his particular story. Like I said, don't watch it with the kids around because it's pretty violent. The stuff that G.I. Robot does, I mean, you know, he's happy as a clam. He's sitting there blowing away Nazis. You know, it goes back in time and shows him in World War II, which I thought was kind of cool. That we got to see him in battle with the troops and stuff like that. I also thought it was kind of funny that you see him on, like, they take him out and they're promoting everything and having him. What was it? They were having him promote something specific that they were doing, and he's there looking at the audience, looking for Nazis, and they're interviewing him, you know, asking him questions, but he's looking for Nazis to kill. That's all his programming.
Promoting what he did in the army, like why he was so special.
Yeah,
that it was like a breakthrough of having this robot who had the most kills out of anyone.
What I also thought was cool though is how he ends up in the future, how he basically gets forgotten and he's sold like an antique, like a collector's item. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And where that goes, I'll let you talk about that one, Josh. But where that goes, I thought was woo. That was it was a really cool episode. I also liked the end of the episode where it looks like that lady from Themyscira is gonna take out the princess, and sure enough, the weasel shows up and he's just going down on her. He's like, ripping her up, and I thought that it ended like on a cool cliffhanger. She's like, you all just screwed up. I'm trying to save the world, and you just cost me, you know, everything. And so, and if you actually see the promo to next episode, we're actually going to get to see some flashbacks and stuff like that as to what she sees, why she says we're going to see the end of the world. So I thought that that's kind of cool, but that whole scene where the weasel just I thought that was kind of cool. So overall, this was a very entertaining episode. Again, Josh, I'll let you talk more about G.I. Robot because some of the stuff they did with G.I. Robot was just great in this. Yeah, so far I'm really digging this show. I'm enjoying it. It's not the greatest, but it is very, very entertaining. I like it so far.
You're not going to be bored, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they're short too, short episodes. And so I like that.
Yeah, Josh, take it away.
So this seems like a show that normally I would like stay away from and be like, no, I don't know. I love it. I don't know why I love it. It's so good. My God, cheers to the Tin Man. Just that whole, it's basically Inglourious Bastards in an animated form was last week in a way. It just, that whole thing when he gets adopted by
that's exactly what it was.
Yes, when that guy, oh my God, I'm sitting there and watching this alone on the couch when no one was home. I just start to watch fast if I can. And when it looks and it shows the Nazi, and I just yell out, "Oh no!"
That's what I said, man.
I was like, "No, goodbye," and he just wreaks havoc on everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
It's like he's smiling as he's doing it too.
No, I know.
Having a blast.
It's so good, and like Bob said, that ending scene with Weasel and attacking what's her name, and and oh God, and I just love it. And Derek, I told Bob this. It's like this is what I really pictured Suicide Squad to be. Like, if you think about it, they headed back to the castle. They didn't think. They got out and they started shooting. And that's what's so important about these guys is they don't care.
They're not running on the same ethics as regular superheroes. That's
no, not at all.
No.
And so they're doing such a great job with this show. I love the intro. I'll say it every week. I love it. And then you have James Gunn at the end typing and then going back and being like, just chilling. God, what else happened? It's so funny because it was a week ago for me. I watch it so fast. And then I'm like, oh, which episode was it?
What was interesting, real quick, Josh? You mentioned that the guy who bought the robot, and it turned out, he was like this neo-Nazi. He takes him to a neo-Nazi party because they thought they could have GI Robot on their side. But what was interesting is how you see GI Robot sitting on the couch with him. The cats are coming up and licking on him, and it's like it's a happy-go-lucky. You had no idea that he was going to be what he was, and then all of a sudden, wham! And as soon as you saw it, like you, Josh, I was like, oh, man.
You're like, oh, God, it's done. Yeah. It's done.
Well, the best part about it, too, was like, even though G.I. Robot's face doesn't change, he still went to a psychotic place. You could tell.
Oh, yeah.
And he's he's not smiling, but he's smiling.
He is. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. No, absolutely.
I get to kill again.
No, he kills the guy, his friend.
Yes, he
does. The very first one. He doesn't leave him.
No. Instantly just blows his head
off. I will say this. The part, I told Bob this, with the Nazis and the intestines, and he's putting his intestines back.
Oh,
I looked away. I had to look away. I was like, okay, I didn't. But Bob was like, no, that's war. You got to show that.
Yeah, it's war.
Not wrong.
But it was, no, I get it. It just was.
And hey, that was the bad guys too, by the way. So you're allowed to show some guts.
Oh my God, those rifles and the way they blew them away.
You know what was interesting though is that they're contrasting GI Robot's life, like in 1944 and 1945, when he's killing Nazis, he gets medals, he gets recognition. He does it in 2025 or 2024, or whatever year it's supposed to be taking place, and he gets thrown in jail. So they're contrasting how times have changed. It's not the same thing, and his programming is only set for one thing. It's not set to adapt and read the situation and see what the difference is in that the time has changed, that he can't just do that anymore.
Do we know how long he was in jail for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure they said, but I forgot.
Derek, what'd you think?
A lot of fun this show is. You knew it could go either one of two ways, where this could either be horribly bad or it could be a lot of dang fun. And luckily it hit the latter. That first scene where to the point about I think there was like one guy with his leg blown off and all this blood was flying out. Another guy had his intestines there. And he just keeps shooting. He doesn't stop. He just keeps going.
Well, he extends. His legs grew.
Yeah.
And it's just like
just because he had to get everybody. So it was fun to see that he did have real emotion as a robot, which was a nice touch. Other than the massive killing spree he likes to go on.
That was such a James Gunn filled episode.
It was very. It had that feel to it for sure. I have a feeling. I think I mentioned this last week though, where they're going to go flashback of every episode for one of the characters. Like they're going to go back to the story of one of the characters each week.
The next week is supposed to be the Weasel, according to the promo.
Oh Jesus!
The one tomorrow.
Yeah, the one tomorrow is supposed to show the Weasel.
And tomorrow is a crazy one, right? You told me.
Okay. The stream that I was on a few weeks ago, the guy said he had seen it all already, and that episode 4 was a crazy episode.
All right.
Okay.
I do like that as a format for a show. So I'm looking forward to all of this. I do still think they're a little too short for me. But at the same time, I am entertained. I'm not going to turn them off. That's for sure.
But they're so crazy and wild and violent
they're
that
off the
I feel
wall.
it's the right time. Like, I feel like it's, I don't know if anything more would be too much.
You could at least give me 35 minutes, not
Okay.
23. I'm just saying, a little more than a half hour, I think would do me some good.
What do you think, Bob?
I don't mind the fact that they're very short. I get what you're saying, Derek, and I'd be fine if they'd up it, but because I'm very entertained with it, I'm fine with the 23-minute mark as well. But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. You could probably get more development if you did do it that way, but maybe we're not supposed to. Maybe this is just kind of a glimpse into the DC universe, and we're not really supposed to get real in depth. So
That's true. If you're only supposed to get a little taste, like a little appetizer of what it looks like, then they're doing a great job so far. I don't think you're going to be able to get anything like this done in Superman, though.
Oh, God.
Well, even James Gunn has already come out and said that Superman does have some humor, but it's nothing like the previous stuff that he's done.
No, which is awesome.
So that's good. That's good because
James Gunn is a smart enough guy where he knows his limits. He knows what he can push and what he can't. So I'm not too worried about that on the Superman level. So excuse me, more on that tomorrow night. But yeah, thoroughly entertained. I think the Weasel's background is probably going to be the most sadistic out of any of them.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm looking very forward to it. And G.I. Robots was bad. I didn't like the fact that he passed away, or he just died off so fast. I'd like to see
I'm guessing they're going to put him back together, but we'll see.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I would hope so. He's a great character. Don't lose him.
But but then again, all of these characters are expendable, so maybe they're fine with him being.
That's true.
So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I just want to see more of the Bride and Frankenstein chasing each other. And going
that was so fun.
The Bride is a tremendous character. She is great. Yeah, they're all great.
But Dr. Frankenstein thought so too.
I know.
Yeah.
And only problem is
she thought she was pretty great too.
Yeah. She wasn't into him though. Too bad.
Well, for Dr. Frankenstein, she was.
Well, that's a different discussion.
Not for Frankenstein.
A different discussion. Oh man, that got graphic very quickly.
What a great show! And I had Bobby mentioned this to me, Derek, when it first was announced. I could have cared less. I was like, okay, I have no idea what it's about. And then we watched. I was like, oh my God.
Well, I remember thinking to myself exactly what I said. The last time we were talking about it, which was, okay, this feels an awful lot like Suicide Squad. Like, do we really want to go back down that road again? I got worried about it. Excuse me, but I got to tell you, I don't mind. I don't mind this at all.
And we mentioned this last week that Bobby called me. He's like, you got to watch it. I said, okay, well, what do you think? Well, I'm not sure. And of course, when he says that, last time he said that was The Last Jedi. And we know what happened with that. So I sit down and watch it, with no one around. And I thought it was terrific. And I called him up and he's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, that's because there's some things in it that are questionable that I was curious what you were going to think.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, okay, I'm enjoying this, but should I be enjoying this?
I know, right?
So
yeah, it was very
different. But that's what we want this new DC universe to be.
Yes.
Right. It's gotta think outside the box. And boy, is this doing some thinking outside the box. So James Gunn is taking advantage of his opportunities here, and you can't blame him for that. So good on him. He's starting out strong from what it looks like.
But
he hasn't even really scratched the surface yet. But
no,
so far so good. Yeah,
he hasn't, and it's amazing how this thing has worked. Because, like, if it didn't work, we'd be like, "Oh, here we go again." But it works like with this.
It
Like if
does.
Marvel tried something like this before any of these other films that come out. Like now, if these guys are in Superman or in Green Lantern we're like, "Oh, yes, we've seen them now."
True. But
But maybe when
I,
it works as a team, it's better versus individual. Like Bobby said last week, when when you have a solo person, it's tough,
yeah,
especially
that's
when you
true.
don't know them. But for something like this, to have a team, maybe that's it. I don't know. I think it's terrific.
It's a show about a team, but it takes an individual perspective for
Right.
each of the members, which is always a very creative way to do things.
And I like the characters. I mean, like I told you last week, I like Frankenstein. I like the bride, you know.
Dr. Phosphorus.
Dr. Phosphorus is awesome.
I can't wait to get to his backstory
I
too.
know. I'm real excited for that.
That
That's
will be
going to be really
interesting.
good. Yeah.
And it's funny because in original Suicide Squad, they try to go back to the origin or try to say, different things. It just didn't work out.
No, it didn't. You know what? You know what the first Suicide Squad reminded me a lot of was the Fantastic Four, where they were just trying to do too much. Like it was. I you can't. It's too in depth of a story. There's too much there to try and sum it all up in a span of 2.5 hours. Not to mention the fact that the villain wasn't exactly awesome in that movie, which did not help.
But the Suicide Squad in comic,
Yeah,
who were the originals?
Harley Quinn was always one of the originals.
Okay.
Deadshot was there.
Okay.
I think Killer Croc was
Okay.
in there. I don't think Captain Boomerang was. I think that was an addition.
What about Joker or Penguin or any of those guys?
No, they actually they tried to stay away from those villains because then it would have just tied back to Batman, and then then it just overshadows what they're trying to do with that group. So they tried to stay away from that because really, if you think about it, Batman would have gotten involved. Harley Quinn could have just lost her mind and tried to go after Batman, and then we're not anywhere on the hero side of the house.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. There were, I think that they had a couple of appearances. Like I think Mr. Freeze showed up in one Suicide Squad. Wow. But it wasn't like a lot of other Batman villains showed up in Suicide Squad. They wanted to make it its own thing.
Excuse me.
Which is the right call, because you're right. I mean, then it would just overshadow it, and you don't want to do that.
Got it. So
same thing with Batman Beyond, by the way. They didn't go back to a lot of the villains in Batman Beyond either. They got a couple.
Smart.
Yeah, it was smart. You're right.
So, Bobo, any thoughts on where you want the show to go now that you've seen a couple episodes, or you're just
well, I saw the promo for the next one, so I'm curious to see that because you're going to see some visions from this villain character that's going to reveal several of the other heroes in the DC universe, and you're going to see some of them in these visions. So I'm curious to see where the whole show's going to go. I think there's going to be a twist, and that princess is going to turn out to be a bad guy.
News.
Yeah, really interesting.
That's what I'm thinking.
I was.
I hear a lot of people. I hear a lot of people saying that the princess is Clayface.
That's funny.
That would be great if that happened.
Well, they are doing a Clayface animated show. I heard. So
I think it's a movie,
or is it a movie? Live action?
It's going to be a movie.
Maybe.
Which reminds me, they say that. Which reminds me, they speaking of movies, the next DC movie is going to be Supergirl.
Is that right?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Because the script is already done and James Gunn likes the script, so he's went ahead and told him to go ahead and start production on it. So that's going to be the next DC movie.
Why, what's her name from Dragon playing her?
House of the Dragon, yeah, the one who played young Rhaenyra.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I'm curious. You know what? If Superman is good, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah, that's what everything's riding on right now. Who would be the villain in Supergirl though? Now I am curious.
I don't know. Maybe Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, Maxwell Lord would be a good one.
So
Brainiac.
I don't know. They need to save him for Superman.
Yeah, that's
Superman.
All right. Well, anything else to talk about this recap, gents?
I don't think so.
No, it's a great show.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Do watch it. All right. So, speaking of Superman, like we mentioned, folks, maybe I think we mentioned this, but if we didn't, now's the perfect time. We will be on tomorrow evening. You will see us talking about the Superman trailer that is coming out as we speak tomorrow morning for everybody. Around 6 o'clock our time. I think it's 7 o'clock Bob's time. So we will be meeting later tomorrow that evening to talk about our thoughts on that. So do be on the lookout. Anything you guys want to talk about, just in terms of what you're looking forward to there?
I just want to see what the tone is going to be based on the poster and the teaser that they released today. The teaser for the teaser trailer. Based on those, the tone looks kind of cool. So it looks like what you would expect from Superman. So here's hoping.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to the glimpse. Josh, what about yourself?
I like all the extras of the movie. Just looking up and just you could kind of tell. But
when it said "look up," that was a nice touch. That was a nice touch. That was well done.
No, it's good. And Lois and it's going to be. I guess you said it's Lois and her team. And God, I think it's. I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be good, gents. I think we're going to be very happy.
Well, we will talk about this taste we're about to get tomorrow. All right, we got anything else to talk about here, guys?
No, that's it. Just
no, that's it.
We'll meet up tomorrow. We'll do our reaction and analysis, and the episode should be posted later in the evening.
Yep.
So.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
I didn't block you.
I didn't think you did.
Yeah, you did.
Of course I did. 100%.
I did figure out how to block you. Started playing with it, but I didn't actually officially do it.
I can't get over Bob, though. That was just like
His was better than mine.
Because you don't even know. He answered the phone and I said, where have you been? He's like, dude, no, I can't do it right now. Well, what's wrong? There was a loss. I gotta go. And I called my mom and I'm like, yeah, I think something happened to Bob. Oh no, what could it be? I said, I don't know. I'm worried. Well, you'll talk to him in a couple days. And then I tell my wife, and I called you. You didn't answer your phone.
Because you were blocked.
And he was like, I'm like, Bob, are you okay? Yes. Why? The law. There was one thing that in a way gave it away, even though I didn't get it. The fact that he messaged us that day on Superman.
Yes.
Because after that message, he calls me back. He's like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine.
What are you talking about? All right.
What happened? Well, I said we had a loss. We lost a fantasy.
Should have known.
Yeah, we both did. That's for sure. But
yeah,
you guys got crushed.
All right. Well, in order to get out of here, why don't we sign off with some social media? Bob, go ahead. You first.
You can find me over on my YouTube channel at Bob Loves Movies. Channel's name is What Is It Good? You can find me on X and Criticless. And as always, we'll have our social media in the description below.
Very good. Birthday boy to you, sir.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm the family man of the Valley. I'm a realtor here in Southern California. I'm also a fantasy football champion. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Seeing as how I just feel like I aged another 5 years, this is perfect for telling everybody that I'm still the old guy and I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. Jesus, Josh. You could have just left it alone. You really could have.
Just can't.
Okay, blocked you are then. Here we go.
Yeah. If everyone knows Derek, let's see, when your Derek called me on my birthday at 11:59 The day my birthday was over. The stuff this guy does.
That was some of my best work too. And you called me a few times that day, but I'm like, no, I'm going to get him right at the end of it. All right. Well, that's enough for us tonight, folks. We will be joining you very soon for tomorrow's episode, and we look forward to talking with you guys then. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Later.
Good night.
Bye.